General Shadrach Sibia. Also from National, we have the Divisional Commissioner responsible for visible policing and operations, Lieutenant General Mamuteti, and then I think we all know the Provincial Commissioner of the province, Lieutenant General Mene. Can I get an indication if we can proceed with the briefing? Is everyone set up? Is everyone fine? So that I can hand over to the National Commissioner. I think just 10 more seconds. We'll wait for that team just to set up their camera. Please give a thumbs up if everything is fine so that I can allow General Masamola to proceed. More seconds. Are you fine now? Can we proceed? Okay. Okay. Thank you, General Masamola. Over to you. Does he have to utilize this microphone?
No, this one.
Which one?
This one.
Okay.
Good afternoon, everybody, and thanks for responding on a Sunday afternoon. We are here in Umtata just to say that we have, as South African Police Service Management, we have concluded a visit at our National Intervention Unit offices here in Umtata, which we call it NIU. NIU is one of our specialized unit. It's one of our elite unit, which comes second from the Special Task Force. And of course, as you go down, we have got the TRT. So we're at the National Intervention Unit base. The unit is made of police officers who attend to medium and high risk incidents, including your cash in transit heists, kidnappings, armed robberies, and so on, all violent crimes. These highly trained members are also tasked with the tracing of dangerous and highly armed criminals who are involved in serious and violent crimes, as I said. This is one of SAPS units that leaves nothing to chance, and they are at all times being utilized countrywide. And as you are aware, this unit was attacked last week on Wednesday by 3 men who arrived at the base of the unit and asked to see one of the members there. Ladies and gentlemen, we are not going to fold our arms and allow a situation where our dedicated, hardworking police officers who are entrusted with investigating and tracing hardened criminals to be targeted. For the mere fact that these criminals, as we call them, went as far as trailing our members to the base, it says a lot to us. More so going to an NIU base and you look for a member. And these people, they are not going there unarmed, they go there armed. I'm therefore pleased that in that occasion when these criminals confronted the member who, of course, unconsciously so approached them with a view that maybe they are doing an inquiry, only to be greeted by bullets. We are pleased that and encouraged that when these armed criminals arrived at the offices, they were met with an operational ready member and members who tactically alerted other members, and they acted decisively when the situation called for them to do so. And when the dust settled, 3 of these armed criminals were taken down, and no life was lost by the police. we are fortunate that one member was injured, but he still survived because he still survived that bullet. He's injured, but he survived. It is, however, of a concern that 2 days later, the same NIU member who was targeted and called by these criminals on Wednesday was also targeted again while on his way to work. Due to his alertness and his skills and experience, the member was shot at, and he fortunately responded, and he managed to shoot back at the assailant, which this criminal was later found in a hiding, injured, and he is currently under police guard at a hospital. This happened in the height of September month, which is a police safety month, and is a period in which we intensify efforts to ensure the safety and security of our members. We also utilize this month to raise awareness and alertness on police killings and how this has a long-term negative impact not only on the organization but also on the families and the broader society at large. Just a week ago, we remembered 39 members who died in the line of duty when we were commemorating them at the Union Building. It is on that score that we will not tolerate attack on our men and women in blue, who are doing all they can to put a stop to incidents of extortions and all other crimes. We continue to urge our members to act decisively when faced with danger. Our members have a duty to protect themselves and also protect the communities which they serve. We have also met with the management of the province, led by the Provincial Commissioner of Eastern Cape, Lieutenant General Mene. However, of course, concerned that the number of cases that have been reported since our visit with the Minister 3 weeks ago does not reflect the extent of the problem which seems to be in this OR Tambo district, more especially in Mthatha. Simply put, it looks like there is underreporting of these cases when it comes to extortion. And of course, this is indeed worrisome, as we should ourselves and the community make sure that we take the fight, we take the war to this extortionist, and we will continue doing so. Since the launch of the hotline in the Eastern Cape 2 weeks ago, the extortion hotline, a total of 1,180 calls were received. This number is made up of 688 prank calls. Those who called, and there's also those who called to verify whether this line is indeed the line for extortion. Those are 431. And the total number of cases which were reported via the hotline relating to extortion is 36. We are assuring communities that a dedicated team of investigators and members from specialized units that are attached to the task team dealing with extortions are working on this information with a view to build up cases and bring those responsible to book. Some of the cases that one can highlight that are extortion related include cases where our members were attacked at their base, and the one I spoke about now, and 3 people were shot and killed, including a traditional or so-called traditional leader who was being investigated on some cases. In the same incidents, 3 firearms were seized, meaning all 3 of them were armed with side weapons which they used to shoot this member when they arrived. In addition to this incident, 2 suspects has been arrested this week alone. One is linked to the attack on the NIU member on Thursday, and the other suspect is the one who is linked to an extortion incident at Mkanduli Clinic on Friday. Apparently, this suspect entered the clinic and claimed to employees who were there that they are not safe and they must pay him protection fee. But he was arrested and will appear in court soon. I'm encouraged by the work of the police in doing what the police are doing in this province and restore law and order. You'll recall that from mid-August we have deployed additional members to support and augment the available resources and the capacities in this province to deal with extortion decisively. To date, the work that has been put in through intelligence gathering or on suspected syndicates linked to extortion on protection fees is encouraging. There are tracing operations, roadblocks, vehicle checkpoints, and of course searches of residents in case where there are intelligence. Since our visit throughout the Ortambo district, 100 dangerous weapons have been seized, including 18 firearms and 99 rounds of ammunition. We are all aware that when it comes to crime of stock theft, Eastern Cape is one of our provinces that is quite high in this. And there is also a number of stock, 240 livestock that have been recovered during this period. In closing, we would like to call upon the community to work with the police decisively so that we clamp down on these few syndicated criminals that are terrorizing the community. They are not in the majority, they are really in minority, so let's work together and make sure we bring them to book. We have seen also in other provinces, just this week in KwaZulu-Natal, 6 of extortionists that were fatally wounded in a shootout with police in Durban. In the previous week, 4 extortionists were also fatally wounded during confrontation with police in the Western Cape. In Mpumalanga, there was also one that was fatally wounded in Korafontein engaging with the police. This should serve as a deterrent and a strong message to those current and future extortionists to say they should stop what they are doing. We will never win if we don't cooperate as stakeholders in this. Our work as men and women in blue is cut out there and will continue with this fight against the crime. Just a feedback on Operation Shanela, we have up to so far made 840,000 arrests. Suspected has been brought to book for various crimes, including murder, rape, CITs, and related crimes. We have also seen yesterday in Gauteng, 6 suspects were shot dead in Germiston during a cross-pavement robbery where an AK-47 and over 4 pistols were recovered during that operation. I thank you very much.
Thank you, General Fani Masemola. Colleagues, that is the National Commissioner of the SAPS explaining why we are here today and basically asserting the authority of the state. I'm now going to hand over to colleagues to pose questions to the National Commissioner and his management team. Okay, let's start with the lady in front and then we'll go back.
Molweni bahlekazi. Qala mandiqale ndibulele. Ndithe inkosi kakhulu banenize apha. General Masemola, noGeneral Nene nonke kule tafile ndiyanibulisa. Mna ndizawuthetha apha ke ndinguViyokazi Veronica Kambingelele. I'm the one owa victimized nguMareke neqela lakhe. Today I'm homeless ngenxa kaMareke owatshisa umzi wam, badubula umntana wam 4 bullets. Ngelakhi kaThixo umntana wam wasinda. Ndiyabulela ke ngoku into yobana isipolisa sisiphakamile, and mna ke benana andingumntu outspoken othetha inyani. Ndiphila phantsi kwe-enga General Masemula because umthetho walapha imthatha uyarhuqa. Ngayiripota yonke into kula mapolisa zawurhuqa. Till today akho polisa lakhe leza kum nditsho lo wayephanda ubheke ezantsi athi kumsesenzele ngondisaphanda. I'm happy nilapha. As a single parent, ndingumfazi, ndidutyulwe mna nabantwana bam. Kungabikho kwamfazi uphakamayo nasesipoliseni andincede. It's only few mapolisa andincediyo apha eMthatha. And ndifuna uphakamisela izandla uBrigadier Keys owathi yena waya kukumkani. Ekubeni thina mnicase yam mna General Masemula yalahleka kwa Crime Prevention Unit isiya ebecuphini. Yalahleka icase yam ndiyo reporter kuba first day on the 11th of October bafika bezondubula into nayo kwabe kukho abantwana bam. Njoba batshisa ke ngoku nge-18th badubula umntana wam ekhona, zange kubekho follow ups. Ndafonela amapolisa aseMthatha eCentral Police Station ndancama. Following day wazofika usector manager onguBhebheza. Lento ndithetha yandiyoyiki. Wandixelela uBhebheza endaweni ba athethe le sithethayo yokubana akhusele mna as ipolisa, wathi ukumkani. Kutheni lento inkosi ezawuphatha apha ekubeni thina siphethe sizinkosi ezinyulwe ngukumkani, kukho ezi singenyulwanga ngukumkani. Kutheni lento ukumkani angaze ebahlalini? The next thing lathi ipolisa kumele nguBhebheza sector manager wathi mandizigade. How can this guard ngamapolisa aseMthatha sector manager Bhebheza? Umntanam wayegula ene depression, wade wabuza umntana mana yetata uzele lento na okanye uzele enye. Ndabaleka General Masemula nabazali, ndabaleka ndohlala eKomani kwa sister wam General Mene, ndohlala kwa sister wam eKomani. Ndicetyiswa nguKennel Kiti ethe hey escape wena kuba ngoku ababantu xa kuthiwa bebane befika nangokungekhoyo awukho safe. Ndemka ndohlala eKomani but umntanam wathi kwatshiswa umzi wam waphela. I'm homeless today. Into endiqaphelayo kwinto yamapolisa alapha into yobana once icase yakho ifike apha eSavoy, I think abo bahlali bakuxelela abaninzi soze uphinde uve kwanto, soze ilandelelwe. Yathatha icase yam ngokumkani neka Mr Masita owadutyulwa nge4th kaJune naye wayibekwe ngukumkani. Unfortunately unento yazi into ebhlungu into yobana kwahlekiswa ngecase ka Mr Masita ayikumcuphi wayilapha eSavoy. Enkosi.
All right, thank you, Ama. I think after the meeting, General Masemula will just organize a private meeting with Umama and yourself and the management team as well as the Provincial Commissioner. Another question?
Ronald Masinda from ENCA. Police Commissioner, I think what is even more deterring is to hear how these criminals have become so brazen, going into a base and attacking police which is cause for concern. I know that this press conference started late today. How have you addressed these concerns from your NIU team? Or how will you do that? Thank you.
Next question, the lady sitting next to Ronald.
Nomzwanele Mngoma from the SABC. I just want an update because when the hotline was launched, yes, that's the word. General Mene said something about vetting of police officers. Can we get an update? Has that started, or it's still are you still discussing it, or what's the update on that?
Last question at the back.
Okay. Good afternoon, General Masemola. I'm Tekinoia from Newsroom Africa. I just want to find out, is this specialized 2 units going to be here forever? Because I'm thinking, should they leave, organized crime, especially extortion and other serious crime, will resurge in this town? And maybe the second question, do you apprehend the suspects based on the information that you get through the newly launched hotline, or there are cases that have been opened by the members of the public? Thank you.
All right, thank you, colleagues. General Masemola, as indicated, you will meet with Umama after the briefing. So, Mama, you'll get your response after the briefing during your private interaction with General Masemola. So, General Masemola, you can proceed to respond to the journalists' questions. Thank you.
Okay, thanks. Thanks. We are very sorry about the situation, Yakamama, but it's something that we are not aware of. I'm not sure if the provincial commissioner was, but we will engage you hereafter to see as to what can we do hereafter in assisting you, and also to know the area, the place you call Savoy, what place is that, so that we also know. Ronald, on addressing the NIU matter, yes, we addressed the members of the NIU as the SAPS management, and we are confident that you are right. These criminals were very brazen to walk into that base and confront a member or look for a specific member, and when the member appeared, then they started shooting at the member in his base. So we don't regret, they got what they wanted. If you go into a police station or a base like that of NIU, you go and attack a member in that base, there's nothing else that you were looking for except what they got, and they will not hesitate to do it tomorrow if such an attack happens again. We address the members of the NIU. They are quite, well, of course, they are shocked about such type of incident, the bravery which these people had to go in there. They are quite surprised with that. But they are determined, confident, their spirit is high. They are determined to do the work. And we address them, and they are in a very good spirit. You remember some of these members just arrived from deployment in other areas of the country, so they are very much determined to do the work, and they are here and they are going to do the work. We will be able to see what is being done. The task team that is here, is it temporary or, well, as long as the problem of extortion is here, the task team will stay here. the national intervention will stay here. In any event, we are bringing more national intervention unit in this area to come and clean it, because we can see these criminals are brazen, determined. Luckily, we know them. We have a name list of them, and as it looks like they are hunting us, because they went to the base. If going to the base was not enough, they still went and attacked the member again on Friday. So we will go out, go and hunt them. We are prepared. We are bringing more NIU. As long as they are here, we will not go away. We will make sure that we clean this area. And so both task team will always be in this area as long as the problem is here. The update on the hotline, I did speak to the number of calls that we received, which is 1,180. So the toll-free line is already working. It's already being used, as I said. But of course, what is a bit embarrassing is that of these calls, 688 were prank calls. Well, we don't know. We already, of course, knew that. I'm sure the extortionists will also use this opportunity to divert attention or whatever. So out of these 688 prank calls, we suspect it might be also some of those extortionists. And except 431 is people that phone just to want to verify is this the correct line. So the line is already working. The community are responding quite well. We've registered 36 cases out of this hotline and some 11 inquiries. So we are busy with the investigation of those cases, and once they are ready, we'll be able then to do a takedown. I think that was all.
Do we have the response on the vetting of the police officers, General Mene? Do you need us to move the microphones? Okay.
Thank you very much. In terms of the vetting of the members, we have already chosen the team that is focusing on the extortion cases based on their experience and based on the way they're conducting themselves. That's the first thing. The second part is that I've promised that the team will be vetted. We're still starting with the increasing the number of these members, because we can see the magnitude of this extortion in the province. So that is the first thing. The next step, the vetting process will unfold. It is a very long process. You don't finish it overnight, but we promise the community out there that we will sanitize that team and make sure that whatever is reported there is dealt with in a very dignified manner. I thank you.
Thank you, General Mene. Do we have any other questions? Okay. If there are any other questions, then this calls the end. Do you have something to say, General?
And on the
microphones, please.
On the issue of other cases, I think the question further said, are we only focusing on the hotline reported cases or any other cases? Just to reiterate what the National Commissioner said, that we do have other cases that will be reported at the police station that is under investigation. I think from April until end of August, the team reported 70 cases that will be inclusive of the 36 cases that are under investigation, and amongst those, there are those that are court-going dockets.
All right, thank you, ladies and gentlemen. That was Lieutenant General Tebelo Musikedi, the Deputy National Commissioner responsible for policing. Thank you, colleagues. We have come to the end of our briefing. Thank you.